9 to 10 months on our ranch, and then they go to the feed yard and they spend another 4 to 6 months, depending on their weight and time of year and such. I posed the question because I think it's a question worth discussing, and that is intensive farming good? Is that good? And as I spoke earlier, it's tremendously efficient. And what the gains we have made, we're producing 25% more beef on 40% less animals than we did basically 50 years ago. Our footprint, and carbon footprint, if you will, is 17% less than it was back then because of efficiencies in feed, efficiencies in transportation, and other things that we've done. And I personally believe that we cannot meet the challenges that we face in, 50, 60, 75 years from now to meet the inelastic food demands that we're going to face without getting better and utilizing intensive farming type systems. Because understand, we as humans all generally need about 2,000 calories a day. Some of us get more than that, but that's generally on average, you all need about 2,000. And as human population grows, we have produced that caloric energy somewhere. And we're going to have to get better at it because we don't want to cut down our rainforest, and we don't want to convert real beautiful, wonderful, wilderness wildlife habitats to low efficient food production. So we have to get real better at it. There's a little bit of a misnomer. People think, well, you raise beef, so Jim eats my beef and you do and somebody else does. And that might be true. But generally, this map depicts, this is the World Animal Protein Map. And this is where meat and animal proteins, how they move around the world. And they move all around the world. And as you can see there, that it's not just that, I can produce beef in Buckeye or Phoenix and we sell it on in Phoenix. Most of it might be, but in many cases, products we grow here in the United States are feeding people elsewhere. And it's not really well known that we do move meat and animal proteins all around the world. One of the questions that we were asked to talk about is sustainability. I work with an appointed group of the beef industry nationally that's working with the World Wildlife Fund on a sustainable beef program, which includes the whole realm, of clean water, clean air, carbon footprint, all of that stuff. And what's amazing is the World Wildlife Fund came to us. And they came to us and said, we've been studying you. We've been watching you. And we believe that you're finding the answers. We got to get better at it. But we believe that you're getting a bad rap on something, and that's the intensive farming angle. And that is going to be the solution to securing and saving natural habitats on our planet. He said, if we don't get more efficient and we don't better utilize the land that we're currently raising food from, then we're going to go take land that's currently habitat for animals and other things. And we don't want to see that. So we started a sustainable beef program with them. We're in the initial stages of just going through all of that. And we found it generally very interesting because our goals are very similar. Obviously, they have a priority, of wildlife habitats versus our priority of producing food. But in the middle there was some similarities. I close with, excuse me, what I talk about is the food continuum. And the food continuum is all of us in this room as consumers. It includes you know, the hunter-gatherer models of food out there. It includes local food movements. Production includes natural, organic, greenhouse, dry land, irrigated, intensive farming. Every component of food production is within that continuum. And I happen to believe that we will not be able to survive on a growing planet and keep our planet healthy if we start removing pieces of our food continuum. We need to add, not remove. And I don't know what we need to add. I'm hoping that the youth of today, the people that are studying here, my children, your children, others, will be discovering those things through their process and education as they're out producing food. But we have to grow the food continuum, not shrink it. In addition, I think that for my family and us, we have what we call a triple bottom line for our ranch. And that is that our ranch is socially, ecologically, and economically sustainable. And if we can meet that triple bottom line, then maybe, 150 years from now, another AHA will be up here speaking to somebody about this. But that leaves us, because we as consumers are not out of that equation, that food continuum. And I believe we as consumers need to also require our own triple bottom line. And as a consumer, I think that we should demand and be able to demand the freedom to choose, which includes the right to expect food that we consume to be produced responsibly. I believe that another portion of that bottom line is reducing food insecurity. We as consumers should and can expect that as we do. That there's, unfortunately, in lots of places on this earth, there are children that the insufficient diets are record levels. And then finally, I think the third portion of the triple bottom line for consumers is communication. That the bringing together a better understanding of the food that we consume and how it is produced, and engaging all of our communities about that is something that we should and can be able to demand as part of the food continuum. And this is from my family to your table.